guys! Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Again, it's me, your girl Joanne.
And I'm Chris Melbeth. Of course, this morning we have a lot to talk about.
All about that here in Talk with Malbeth.
And Joanne.
So in today's episode, we will talk a topic that has been debated for a long time. Right, Malbeth?
Exactly. Today, we will discuss interesting quote which is can money truly buy happiness?
Well, some people believe that money can bring happiness, while the others disagree with this statement.
I think we've all heard different version of this quote, right?
Yes, so without further ado, let's dive deeper into this topic and try to understand it better. Firstly, let's look at the arguments made in favor of money buying happiness. When it comes to money, people typically use it to fulfill their needs or desires. Do you believe that having money ultimately leads to happiness?
I'll go first. Well, that's the tricky question. For me, there's no clear-cut answer. Some argue that having more money gives you a freedom to do what you want. Travel, buying things that you want, buying things that you enjoy, and sense of purpose or security. Others say, others say that money can bring a temporary happiness, but it wouldn't guarantee lifelong satisfaction. How about you?
Well, a lot of people believe that having money, they will be able to buy anything they want and that makes them happy, right? As for me, I would probably agree with this statement for the reason that before, when I was a child, money really did not matter to me. Since as a child, all I wanted was to play outside with my neighbor and that makes me happy. However, now as I become older, I realize that money really matters. At some point, it gives me happiness, especially nowadays. For the reason that if I have money, I can buy anything I want for myself and for my family as well. Also, if I have enough money, I can do whatever I want, like traveling with my family and spoil them with my own money. And that makes me happy.
Absolutely, the act of pursuit of a goal is what brings people the happiness, not just the acquisition of wealth. It's about the journey that gives people a sense of purpose, direction, and satisfaction. In contrast, when someone finally finds what they are been looking for, the excitement or the initial feel rapidly passes and then soon grow unhappy with what they have. That's true. After all, there's always going to be something more you want, a higher standard living, a bigger house, a fancier car, or etc. Do you think that people derive more fulfillment from the experience of working towards something than from achievement of owning it?
Very well said. There's the famous quote when Jim Carrey once said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of. So they can see that it's not the answer. So it does somewhat reflect the fact that people who have achieved greatly things financially are still find themselves feeling empty within. So this brings to the question, what leads to happiness?
Ultimately, health, relationship, a good social support, and challenges, activities, and a sense of purpose that are lead to a lifelong happiness in life. The most satisfied people are those who have a positive relationship, engage productive activities, and have a feeling of accomplishment. None of these factors requires wealth.
So it seems like you are in favor of the idea that money can't buy you happiness, aren't you?
Probably yes, since I believe that happiness comes from within.
Well, that's your perspective. Going back, indeed, it's true, but even the smallest amounts of wealth can provide a foothold in all the factors you just mentioned. For instance, money can be used for experiences like traveling with your loved ones, friends, and family, which can create positive memories for years to come.
Absolutely, but those positive memories that count, not the money you spend to create them. You can travel on a tight budget and still have a great time, or you can travel luxuriously and have a miserable time, depending on your attitude and mindset.
I agreed. It's really about how you make of it and how you choose to look at things. Everyone can find happiness regardless of their financial status. To sum up, money can buy happiness but only to a certain extent. What really matters the most are our interpersonal relationship and our sense of accomplishment and purpose, which are not necessarily influenced by the amount of money we have.
Exactly. Happiness means not something that can be bought, but it's definitely something that can be found looking for within.
So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and we hope you gain some new perspectives on this topic.
Tune in again for our next episode.
Bye.
Bye!